Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be going over PvP, basically in chapter 2, how do you PvP, and in general my thoughts on it. And there's going to be a second part, and that second part is going to be vehicle PvP. So basically how to play with cars, how to use helicopters, and everything else to do with vehicles. And let's get into it. And before we get started with the video, let me just say that I do prefer chapter 1 PvP because at least that was more fun than whatever this is. Not exactly fun. So let's go ahead and go over some of the major changes we've seen from chapter 1 to chapter 2. Back in chapter 1 you're able to jump and shoot people, especially with the shotguns and other weapons, but not anymore. Shooting in the air is pretty useless because of the inaccuracy. Unless your target is ridiculously close, you have the taser, the death ray, or some kind of sniper. So this is how it is now. You can barely do any damage to them at all. Also, another big change was the removal of quick switching. You used to be able to fire and then switch really quickly, but not anymore. So let's go over one of the worst ways to PvP, and that's by staying still on the ground. Staying still might give you more accuracy than, say, jumping around, but it's still a very bad strategy, mostly because you're a still target, and if your opponent starts moving, you won't be able to hit them as well. And so I'm going to give my friend a head start, and I'm going to start shooting only after he starts shooting. If you saw, he missed a ton of his shots, and I was able to kill him very easily, even though he had the first few shots on me. Agent is going to be using a deagle jump, while I'm going to be using a different method, and he's going to get the first shot. As you can see, jumping didn't really help him dodge any of my bullets because all I had to do was to aim in his general direction and hit a few of those shots, and I have 144 HP left. So as you can see, strafing left and right while jumping is a little better than just jumping, because a lot of the time when you're jumping, you're in the air and you can't aim well after 2 shots. So you're going to want to stay on the ground and strafe a bit, jump to let the reset recoil, and then you start shooting. So that's basically the best method. So I do have a few minor strategies that you can use while in combat. First strategy is always be counting your shots or be watching the reticle. Basically, you don't want to reload, you want to switch to a different gun before shooting again. And then another thing that you want to do is not shotgun jump to dodge bullets, because those shotgun shots can easily be used to hit the other opponent, because shotgun jumping doesn't really help you dodge any shots. So one of the best things that you can do in combat is prevent the other person from healing. Basically, healing starts to happen after you haven't hit them in a while, so if they get behind cover, like a snowmobile, you can use a shotgun to try to deal a little bit of damage to them. You're not dealing a lot of damage, but you're preventing them from healing, which is important. So we're going to test it here. As you can see, I haven't hit him in a while, so I hit him for 2 just now, so he's going to stop healing. So one interesting thing about the jetpack that you may already know but haven't really realized is that While you're jumping, you lose a lot of accuracy, as you can see, but while you're flying with a jetpack, you stay at full accuracy. So basically what that lets you do is it lets you stay hypermobile and fully accurate. And so I have no armor, and Agent has armor, so we're going to test and see how it goes. "41 HP left over." So one of the things that you may know is that bullets are affected by travel time. So as you can see, this is right on him but not hitting him. So it only happens at very long ranges, but it's incredibly hard to hit. You have to aim a little ahead of them. So right here should be enough. If you aim right on them, it's not going to hit them in time. So you have to aim in front, but it's still hard to hit. There's one main strategy against the op, and that's with rifles. So the main strategy is not to lean forward and aim, because if you do that, then your head hitbox goes in front of your body hitbox, making it easier for them to hit 80 shots. And so I'm going to test it right here by not leaning forward. So by no means are rifles a good idea to take on an op with, but if you find yourself stuck in that situation, don't lean forward, and I'm going to show you why. One good strategy for winning a PvP duel, whether it's in free roam or an organized duel, is to stay behind a wall and wait for them to approach. And he can't actually hit me right now because I'm behind a wall. As you can see, he dealt no damage to me because I was all the way behind here. Here's one way that you can actually improve your aim. If you look closely, I'm trained right on his head, and I'm going to start firing. Notice that I missed quite a few of those shots. That's because the head is pretty small, and any shots that go up are going to completely miss. But if I aim for the neck area or the upper chest, what's going to happen is that some of the shots that go up are going to hit the head, and some of the shots that go to the side are going to hit the arm. So I'm going to do the most amount of damage possible, aiming at the chest area. That was a lot of damage, and it's certainly a lot better than just aiming for the head. This completely changes when you're at close range. When you're at close range, accuracy is a lot less of a factor, so you're going to want to aim for the head. 365 damage versus barely 300 damage. So as you can see, if you aim for the head, you're just going to do a whole lot more DPS when you're close by. You can deal more damage than someone aiming for the body. So some of you might be on a little bit of an edge, whether or not you should or shouldn't get armor for grinding or PvP or whatnot. And the answer is yes, you should buy armor. Don't let anyone tell you that getting armor is a cheap move, because it's really not a cheap move. It costs $4,000 more than whatever someone else uses. So armor is going to give you a big advantage in combat, and it's going to help you stay alive a lot longer. Say if you're a criminal, it's going to be a lot more efficient just to buy that armor and be protected rather than trying to have to escape prison. And I'm going to show you how much of an advantage it gives you. And he is at 88 HP. I would have killed him maybe I hadn't had armor, but you see, armor really does provide a good advantage. Now we're going to go over a list of the best things that I think you should get for PvP, from the best weapons to the best powers. I'm going to go over all of that, including my own god loadout. So, for the best power, I'm going to have to say it's going to be Hot Rod, because Hot Rod works very well with Jetpack. You can keep a primary weapon with it, and some of you might say that Volt is the most OP power. I disagree, because Volt's mobility is just not on par with Hot Rod's. Hot Rod can just easily get out of range of its Volt strikes, so we're just going to see how that goes. I'm going to give him the first shot. Volt just doesn't have enough DPS to compete with the Hot Rod, because you can keep moving like this a lot faster than the Volt can do, and take a quick stop to fire at them and just keep moving. The most overpowered weapon in the game is the minigun. It has the highest DPS out of any other gun in the game, but it's not the most useful or practical gun. The reason is because, number one, it doesn't fire instantly, and more importantly, number two, is that you can't get it from anywhere. It has to be from crate drops. So I'm going to be showing you how OP it is by going against Agent, who has Hot Rod, an M4, and a Jetpack. And so he's going to get the first shot too. As you can see, it has no trouble taking out anything, and I didn't even break all my armor yet. Even though the minigun holds the place for the most overpowered weapon, I'd still say that the M4 is better overall, mostly because it's so easily accessible and because it's the best rifle. And I'm going to show you that it can easily beat out the Scar. Agent's going to get a head start on shooting me and fire whenever he wants. As you can see, I even gave him a head start and started firing after I saw him shoot, and still I managed to kill him with 43 HP remaining, and that's because the M4 has a lot higher headshot multiplier than the Scar does. For all you free-to-play guys, I think that the best gun and also the best pistol is going to be the Deagle for you guys, because it's just so OP. It does 48 damage to the head, and it has 7 shots, which lets you kill someone even if they have armor. And so I'm going to show you a duel against the M4 with the Deagle, and he's going to get the first shot. So there's not really much to complain about when you can easily take someone out with the Deagle. And just so you guys know, I'm going to do that scenario again. Here's our second take. No one's gonna have, I have 10 armor, but I guess that's fine. And so he's gonna get the first shot again. As you can see, he ran out of bullets because I made him miss so many, and I was able to easily take him out with the rest of the magazine. So thank you guys for watching my part 1 of my How to PvP series. Part 2 is going to come out sooner or later, depending on how many likes this gets. It's going to be all about vehicles like cars, aircraft, or bikes, and it's going to be about how to use them in combat. But for now, I'm just going to end off this with a ton of duels that I do with people, and the first one is with Agent. Here is my duel with Beast.